Intuitive viewers, how's it going? I hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're having a good weekend, almost end of weekend, but still it's Sunday. It's here it's sunny, and I've been thinking so much about the people in Texas and in these places where it's freezing cold, and I just hope everybody's doing okay. I keep saying prayers for them. I know you are too. So if you can, pray for these areas, and hope that this passes for them. I do feel like there's going to be a lot of stories of help in the next week. So I don't know if I know the Biden administration has declared an emergency, and so I don't know if it's the Biden administration, if that's what I'm feeling, but I just feel like this influx of help coming, especially to Texas. So that I feel like it will be a better week in that way. We're going to hear a lot more stories of people getting supplies they need, stuff they need. Help is on the way, basically, is kind of the message to that. I did want to mention a few things, just a couple of things. One is a lovely subscriber, Zania, is going through a very rough time right now. She did do a GoFundMe page. I'm going to put it at the bottom. I'm not going to talk about it just because it's personal things, but if you're interested in reading her story and looking at the GoFundMe, I'll put it at the bottom, okay? The other thing is 2 YouTube channels. One I put at the bottom in my description, but I forgot to mention it. Shining Hawk Healing. And it's a really unique channel. I think you guys will like it. It's different. Some is done kind of artistry, and then the readings are kind of ones you can kind of be involved in, so you might enjoy it. The other one is Irish Granny Tarot, and she's you'll like her, first of all, but she has the most hilarious parrot, so you have to go see her bird, Scarlet. She's kind of a diva, but really fun, so you might check that out. And I know you guys are animal lovers, so you might enjoy that. So that's Irish Granny Tarot and Shining Hawk Healing, so check those out. Also, this is the last few days, I guess the last, I think 10 days maybe, or week, of Cassie's crowdfunder. So if you're interested in giving to her film, this is her first film out of film school, and so she's very excited. They're about 2/3 of the way there, so they're doing really good, and every single dollar is appreciated. So if you can give, if you can't, just give her a big thumbs up, and a shout out in the comments. She would appreciate that as well. So okay, so, and I wanted to let you know that we did, as a channel, give to the Texas Food Bank. I think it was the one in Houston I decided to give to, but if you don't know, the money that I get from YouTube, I give to charity. So if you're a subscriber, you're part of that. You're giving you've raised my subscribers to enough so I can monetize the channel, and I give that money to charity. So and this month I gave to a lot of animal charities for some reason. I just felt like I wanted to. So but because of the stuff going on in Texas, we gave to Texas, as I just said. And yeah, I like to do that. And I also like to hear about charities if you're involved in any, or if you're, I pick people's charities to give to. The Vervet was the last one. I put a B. I think I made a mistake, but it's Vervet. We gave to that one. That's the monkey one. And yeah, so it's fun. And I want you guys to feel like, especially now when there's people are struggling, that I want you to feel like you're part of doing something like this. So don't feel like if you can't give that you're not giving, because if you're a part of the channel and you're a subscriber, you are. So just want you to know that. Okay, so I wanted to go on to a couple things I keep getting feelings about, and one is Rudy Giuliani. It has been like 2 weeks. I keep getting stuff about him. And so I'm going to look at him live here. The other thing I want to tell you, though, is that I got a vision of 2 men. They were on their knees with their hands behind their back. I could see the back of them. They were in suits. So I feel like they were white collar criminals, but it looked like they were getting arrested. So I feel like there might be an arrest of a couple of white collar criminals. I do feel like there's going to be this ramping up as soon as all of Biden's people get into place, like Merrick Garland. And I do feel like Merrick Garland will get through. I think they're going to be jerks about it, but I think he's going to get through. But I feel like once that happens, once everybody's in place, we're going to see kind of a ramping up of investigations, arrests, indictments, all of these things. So that's what I wanted to let you know. But that with Rudy, it's really weird because I feel like he's in the hot seat. I feel like there's something coming for him. And I feel like it's going to be really devastating as far as like his, I mean, not that he had a great reputation at this point, but like reputation wise and just his, it kind of seals his fate in a way. So I wanted to look at that. So Rudy Giuliani. And this is for entertainment purposes only. As I always say. I just heard leveling. That's an interesting way to put it. I kind of, it feels like they're talking about something about him being put in his place. I also feel like it has something to do with like justice, things being set right, things being made right. It's a weird word though, leveling. Okay. If you guys get anything, I know that a lot of intuitives and psychics and mediums get hits all the time. So when I say that word, if you get anything from that, let me know. Just put it in the comments. And I thank you, by the way, for your comments. I read them all and I really enjoy reading them. Money, this has to do with money. This has to do with, I feel like he's hiding money right now. I feel like he's trying to put it into, I want to say like other people's names or something, but I feel like he's trying to hide money right now. I feel like he feels this coming. And I feel like he's trying to hide things. He's throwing things away, trying to destroy stuff. I feel like he feels like there may be a some kind of break, not a break-in, but when they come in and look through all your stuff, I feel like that's what he feels like is coming. So he's trying to get rid of stuff. Tip off. He's been tipped off about something. So I feel like it's interesting because I feel like in a way he knows kind of what's coming, but in another way, he also has no idea he has no idea of what this is going to do or the impact of this is going to be. He's underestimating the damage, but he knows this is coming. And it's not something he can wash away or he can get rid of. He thinks he can somehow, but it's not something like that. It's not something he can just push away. Okay, that's all I'm getting for that. And then as I was doing that, something came in about weapons, but I feel like it's separate from him. I don't think it has anything to do with him. There's something about weapons. this feels like Saudi Arabia. It feels like because it feels like a very conservative, very, very conservative country. And a country that, it could be Turkey, maybe. I'm not sure what country this is. I think it feels like Saudi Arabia. That was my first kind of instinct. I'm just seeing like the clothing, and that's what I'm going off of, and it feels very conservative, feels very restricted. So I'm thinking it's Saudi Arabia. An enemy, is that the word enemy comes up. So it's someone we kind of consider an enemy. But it's I feel like that is mixed. I feel like the enemy word is mixed up with the weapons. I feel like there's something with that. This feels tied to Jared Kushner. Either he knows about it or he's mixed up in it. There's something about this that feels like is aware. Someone just said back out. So I don't know if someone backed out of the deal or something. Or Jared backed out of the deal. I'm not sure. There's something here. It feels really nefarious and illegal and like traitorous in a way. Because I feel this is like to benefit our enemies. So that's kind of weird. And this is all for like money, done for money. Okay, I'm not getting any more on that. So that's what I got so far, you guys. So hopefully some of those things will make sense this week. I just heard the word blowback. I don't know what it's reference to, though. I feel like this, when I said this week, blowback, something about blowback. So just remember that. There's something is happening with somebody getting blowback this week. It could be like Ted Cruz or somebody like that. Somebody getting kind of, he's been raked over the coals, but maybe even more. But I just heard the word blowback. So, okay, I'm going to go to what I was going to talk to you about. I'm going today to do some psychometry in the cemetery today with my husband, and we'll see how it goes. If we'll put it up. If it goes well, we'll put it up. If it doesn't, I'll let you know what happened. I wanted to share with you just a couple of things that happened to me in a cemetery in New Orleans. If you like this kind of thing. And this is what we're going to do today. I saw Gary Champion do on his channel, and it really was what got me interested in psychometry. So I started to work on it. I talked to him about it. I, have been working on it. So hopefully it will go okay. It's been really fun. And it's also kind of to show you guys that even if you feel like you have some success in your abilities, like you've been able to kind of use some of your abilities in different ways, that you can still expand them. You can still move to different areas that you want to, if you're interested, and if you feel moved to. There's usually, it will come in the form of like a prompting. You'll feel really interested and really drawn to something, and so that's telling you, try it, do it. It's usually some prompting from spirit. So just follow it and see what happens. That's that. So we were in New Orleans a couple of years ago, and we went to this very, very, very old cemetery in the Garden District, and it has all the above ground, crypts. And so I guess that's what you call them. And I'd never been in a cemetery like that, but it was very odd. It had a strange energy from the moment we walked in. It really did. It had a very, just different. It just felt different. About halfway through walking through, it's huge cemetery. I got somebody named Margaret saying her name, Margaret. I kept hearing Margaret. And then I kind of felt pulled. And now I know, after doing psychometry, this is kind of, first for me anyway, this is how psychometry works. You're kind of pulled to the object, or pulled to, like when I've been in antique shops, I'm pulled to the object and I'll pick up the object. It's not like I'm picking up every object and seeing, is this going to talk to me? Is this going to talk to me? Is this going to? It's kind of like you're pulled to the object and then you pick it up, and that's when you get something. So they're leading you in a way. At least like I said, that's the way it works for me, which I was surprised by. I wasn't expecting that. But in the cemetery, this is what happened as well. And I kept hearing the name Margaret, and my husband's like, "What's wrong?" Like, I keep hearing the name Margaret, and I feel like she wants me to go to her. She's trying to show me where she's at. And as I walked along, I got the feeling that she was very proud of her stone. She was very prominent in the community. She had she was wealthy. She had been wealthy. Like physical appearance and appearances were very important to her. I just picked up these things from her personality, and she seemed like in her life she was very outgoing and very like to entertain and that kind of thing. So anyway, I'm getting all this information as I'm walking to this, and I finally find the thing, and she talks about something being on top of the crypt, and she talks about Jesus. And I look up, and there's like a lamb up there, and I'm like, that's weird. She said it was Jesus, but then I was like, oh, it's the Lamb of God, So I was like, okay, got it. It was that kind of energy. So anyway, that's what happened to me. And her name, and of course, it said Margaret something on the tombstone, and I just knew that was it. I just felt like this was it. So that happened, and then as I kept walking through, I got a little boy named Billy, and I could feel like he was tugging me. It almost felt like he was like when a little kid drags you by the hand. It's like that. My hand wasn't out or anything. It just had that. I can't even explain it. It's like in my mind's eye, I felt like that's what he was doing. So again, I felt kind of pulled, and I was pulled to this gigantic crypt, huge. And I was looking for his names. There was a bunch of names. And so I was looking for his name, and I didn't see any Billy, but I heard, "This is where I am." And I was like, that's weird. So I stood back and kind of read the story, and it was a mass grave for a bunch of children that I want to say passed away in a hospital fire or something. But it said that some of the names of the children aren't here. These were just the ones that we could get. So that's where he was. That's where Billy was. So anyway, those are the two experiences I had in a cemetery that I felt a strong kind of energy in. So hopefully today will be kind of interesting that way. And what I want to explain is that I've let them know I'm going to be there today. So anybody that wants to come and just tell me something about themselves can come. If they don't want to come, they're not going to come. So, so there's no kind of, and they're not just all waiting there. when you go to visit someone's grave, they'll usually show up because they want to acknowledge the fact that you're there. So you might feel them there, but they leave when you leave. They don't just stay there. It's not like the Haunted Mansion where they they sit by their graves and sing like a barbershop quartet. It's not like that. It's they're there because you're there, and today they'll be there because I'm there. And if they want you to hear any part of their story, they'll show up, and they'll leave me, or where they are, and hopefully I'll hear them. It's my job to hear them. I'm sure they'll try. So I hope that it works out. It's going to be at Mare Island. That is where a naval shipyard was. It's kind of it's an interesting place because it is, a lot of it is abandoned now because after, in the 90s, they shut down Mare Island as a base. And so that caused a big economic problem in Vallejo where we are. But they've recovered since then. But a lot of it is still abandoned. So it has a really kind of, it's not spooky, but it's just kind of an eerie feel sometimes that you can feel people around. One of the presidents was there. I think Roosevelt was there and gave a speech there. And it has a really interesting history. And the governor's mansions are there, and they are supposedly haunted. I don't really like that word because I feel like it's kind of disrespectful in a way. But I feel like there might be, people that are present because this was a very important life for them. And so they might visit it occasionally, because I personally don't, I'm not going to get into it, but I personally feel like ghosts can come and go. Spirits can come and go, whatever you want to call them, whatever you're comfortable calling, they can come and go at will. And if you're there and you're thinking about them and you're calling out to them, or they'll show up if they want to. That's the way I think of it. I don't like to think of it, and maybe it's just that I don't like to think of it that way. I don't like to think of spirits as being stuck. I think that sometimes they can get trapped in their own beliefs. So they believe they can't leave, or they believe they can't get out, or whatever. And then it might be, a medium can let them know, like, you can go anytime you want. They just need to be told, because maybe their beliefs or the way they saw things in life, it kind of bleeds over into their afterlife. But I feel like from the moment they leave, they have help if they want it. If you ever saw, it's the Robin Williams movie. What is it? What Dreams May Come. I think that's probably the most accurate view of someone who's stuck. There's a point when his wife is stuck in a certain area, and he's calling out to her, but she doesn't recognize him. And it's because she's still in her own stuff that she brought with her from the earth. So I think that is more like kind of what happens when they get stuck. But they can, when they are ready to go, when they decide they can go. That's how I feel about it. Other people may have different opinions, and that's okay. That's okay. Not disregarding anyone else's opinion. That's just kind of the way I've come to kind of think of it. So anyway, I hope that you guys enjoy it when we get it up. I hope that it's, interesting to you. I hope that it is what I think it will be. It's not meant to be any kind of like a carnival kind of thing. It's not meant to be like a party trick. It's just supposed to show that a spirit wants to speak to us, and that they like to speak to us, and that there's no harm in it. It's fine. And it'll be fun to see what they tell us, what they choose to tell us about themselves, because it will be brief. It's just because I can't, when there's a lot of energy like that, it'll be very, it'll be a trick to try to, pull out the little bits I'll be getting. So it should be interesting. And I think it will be it'll be an interesting experiment for me as a reader. So yeah, and you can, if it's good, if it's interesting, you can thank Gary Champion, because he's the one that did it first, and go to his channel and watch him do it, because he's in a really neat kind of old cemetery in Texas. So anyway, I hope you guys are doing well. I hope everything is okay where you are. Prayers to everybody that is dealing with the weather and the people in Texas. Just sending out lots of love and light and prayers for you. And by the way, Cherry, the little kitty, made a massive turnaround. They don't know how it happened, but we do. We know how it happened. But her owner was so thrilled and so surprised and just so thankful. So I just wanted to pass that along. And I think she wrote something on the community page, so you can go look at that as well. Okay, guys, that's all I got. I will talk to you soon.